Hello, welcome to Alchemy Animation. It is a fourth part of a series called My Messy Marriage. Let's begin. At the party, Jin Sang's mother was speaking bad about Soran. After hearing all of that, Kang's grandfather said, "Get out of my sight." Everyone at the party were speaking about that. They have never seen Chairman Baek get angry at someone. This is so unlike him. Someone asked, "Who is that woman?" Another person replied, "I think she is a relative of him." Someone said Jin Sang and Kang are related. I think, did anyone know this? Another one said that is why he brought his whole family to crash the betting. A girl was saying, Jin Sang cheated on Soran multiple times when they dated. Another girl replied, and now he's trying to ruin the bride's reputation. He's got some nerve showing up here. After hearing all of this, Jin Sang was feeling very low and shy. The girl said his mother is also no joke. Kang grandpa said, "You are calling my granddaughter-in-law manipulative. In my opinion, she is assertive and smart. You know that because she knew to get away from your family." After hearing all of this, Jin Sang's mother was in full of sweat. She said, "That's not what I meant. Soren is good." Kang grandfather did not listen to her. He said, "Quiet your scheming floating," and just tried to leave quietly. He said, "If you want to keep your husband's company, then go away." Jin Sang's sister came towards her mother and said, "See, I told you we should not have come." Kang grandfather was waving his hand, by which he is trying to say go away. Then Jin Sang's mother replied, "We will be on our way then if you don't want us here." Someone at the party laughed and said they got kicked out. And Soran's grandfather-in-law is so cool. Yonghui was also standing there. She smiled and said, "Soran, you missed a good fight?" After some time there were darkness in the room, and the organizer were saying, "Family and friends, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to celebrate the union of Kang and Soran. We are gathered here today to witness Kang and Soran begin the next chapter of their lives. We hope that you will wish them a lifetime of love and happiness." Kang and Soran were standing there, and then a light flashed towards them. Soran was thinking that I feel nervous all of a sudden. My brother was going to walk me down the aisle, but ultimately we decided against it. Some people were concerned that the guests might mistake him for the groom, since he is a handsome young man, so he was standing with the guests, and Yonghui told her about what happened a few minutes ago. After hearing all about that, she thought Chairman Baek would get furious at her. But instead he believed her without any question, and currently he was smiling while looking at both of them. She said, "I'm so relieved your grandfather trusts me." He replied, "Of course he does, Grandpa is on our side, because we are family now." After hearing this, she looked towards him with a blushy face. With a smile, she was looking at her brother and thinking, "That's right. Even if we are not related by blood, family is family." Kang asked, "You said you should take good care of me, right?" She replied, "Yes, I will take good care of you." He said, "You don't have to do that." She asked, "But why?" The organizer were saying, "Please welcome the bride and groom." And Kang said to her that, "Because I'm going to take care of you." And then a sudden flashlight appeared on both of their faces. She was looking at him and a music was playing at that moment. He looked towards her with an attractive look and said, "Let me be the one to give you everything, whatever that may be." All of the guests were clapping for them. Soran's brother were also crying. After hearing what Kang said, Soran was lost in her mind. All of there was flour floating in the air. And the next day Soran was waking up from her sleep. She was saying, "I had a great night's sleep, and this fancy hotel mattress is also incredible, even though honeymoon was out of the question for us. So we decided to spend 2 nights at the hotel so that people would not get suspicious." She was a little anxious about sleeping in a hotel room with Mr. Kang. But now she's wondering about if he's up. There were also 2 bedrooms in their suite, so she was able to sleep soundly. She stood up from her bed and started to walking around at the room. She did not find him anywhere, so she was thinking if he was gone somewhere. She looked outside of the window and found that there were a beautiful swimming pool, mountain and sun view. Earlier she did not even notice that because she went straight to the bed last night. But it's so gorgeous out here. The pool is probably heated. She touched the water and found that the water is so warm. And then suddenly a splash came towards her face. And the person came out of the swimming pool. It was Kang. After seeing his naked body, she was blushing and lost in her thoughts. She was thinking that, oh my god, he looks so attractive. And his muscles are also so tight. and she was not able to control her body from flipping into the pool. Then she fell into it. She was asking for help and Kang grabbed her in his arms. Both of them were staring at each other, and she was thinking that his hair is wet and currently he is shirtless. This is too much for me. Her face was all red after seeing him. He asked, "Why is your face turning red? We even kissed yesterday." After hearing this, she panicked and asked what we kissed. She was thinking that what the heck is he talking about? "Because I did not remember that we kissed." He replied, "Yesterday we kissed." She said, "Put me down please." He replied, "Stay still, you are going to hurt yourself." He put her down and asked, "So you are saying we did not kiss?" She said it was not a kiss, it was just a light peck. He asked, "You don't think it was a kiss?" She said it was not a kiss. He replied, "I remembered the photographer telling us to kiss each other, and so we did just that." After recalling that scene, her heartbeat increases rapidly. She was thinking that I'm letting him get the upper hand, just go into work mode. Soran, she said, by kissing each other, the photographer meant give a light peck on the lips, and French kissing in front of all our guests would not have been appropriate according to the unspoken rules of corps and society. And then she kept quiet. Soran again lost in her thoughts. With a smile she was thinking that I am trying my best to appear calm, but she was not able to maintain it. At the earlier time the photographer said, "Let's get a shot of the bride and groom kissing each other, and everyone else please throw the rest of the flower petals in the air when they kiss." At that time Kang grabbed her waist and held her hand. She was thinking that the kiss we shared yesterday was so sudden and so alarming, and it was so sweet. He asked that, "Then in your opinion what counts as a kiss?" She said we should have parted our lips and then used our tongues to move around. She looked towards him and asked, "You are not asking because you don't know, are you?" He said, "I don't know how to kiss." She was thinking that how can a guy who looks like so handsome, and still he don't know how to kiss? He said, "It seems you are very knowledgeable, Miss Wu, so please go into more detail." She was thinking that he is totally making fun of me right now. She replied, "I'm so hungry, so I'm going to get something to eat." In her mind she was thinking she need to remove herself from this situation. That's the only way out of this. She was about to stood up, but then she found that her cloth was a bit transparent. An other person can see her skin from it. She covered herself and said, "I'm so cold out here." She was thinking that I can't even run away from now, so help me. And then Kang came out of the swimming pool. She was looking at him and thinking, how does he have such a perfectly sculpted body? His muscles are so defined, it's like someone took a brush and painted them one by one. She was lost in her desires. But then she came back to her mind. She covered her face and thinking, what has gotten into me? Why the heck am I checking him out? This has never happened to me before. She had no idea that she was filled with so much desire. And then suddenly he came towards her and covered her in a coat. He said, "You will catch a cold, so wear it." He moved his hand towards her. She held his hand and said, "Thank you for helping me." In her mind she was thinking, I need to keep a cool head. She don't want to get distracted by his attractiveness and ruin everything. He asked, "Your skin is glowing, Miss Wu. Did you get a good night's sleep?" She replied, "Yes, the bed was so comfortable that I slept like a log." With a low voice he said, "You slept like a log?" After some time he was wearing his clothes and thinking that she slept like a log. And on the other place, I did not even get a wink of sleep last night. On the last night when she was in her room, she was laughing and thinking that's too funny. While on the other side he was sitting on the sofa and thinking, we are spending the night together at a hotel. So am I the only one who is nervous? He remembered a talk when Hong said you guys might not be going on a honeymoon. But don't be too sad, there are lots of things you can do at a hotel, right? Both Yonghui and Hong were about to kiss each other and said, "We had so much to do that we ended up having Xiaohu did not be." At that time Kong replied, "Be quiet both of you, the baby is listening." He was thinking about that lots of things they can do. He was wondering like what we can do, why don't I have anything to do? Soran was completely relaxed like she was on vacation. The odds of her falling for him seem almost non-existent. At the current time he was drinking up water and thinking as she's slowly trying to suck the life out of me. Because I can't even stop thinking about how your lips felt against mine. At that time my heart nearly exploded because of how attractive you looked this morning. He thinks that she have done some kind of spell on him. At the night he was sitting on the room with a laptop. He noticed that Soran came out of her room. He said, "I'm about to order room service. What would you like, Miss Wu?" She said, "Don't order for me, I have plans to meet someone. I will be eating out, so don't wait up for me." He asked, "Who could you have plans with at this hour?" She didn't reply to this question and leave the room. Outside of the room, she was thinking that she made a lame excuse because she don't have any plans. She just could not stop picturing coming from this morning. And she also keep replaying their kiss. All of that being alone with him makes her have all these naughty thoughts. That's why she ran away. If she can't even get through the first day, what is she gonna do when they start living together? She was thinking that I know I'm probably feeling this way because it's our first time being alone together. It's first day nervousness. They will feel totally indifferent in a few days, she's sure of it. But now she left the room, so she had to go somewhere. She came out without a plan, so she was thinking about trying the bar on the top floor. She will be able to stay until late. In the bar, the waiter said, "Good evening, ma'am. Will it be just you tonight?" She replied, "Yes, could I have a corner seat, please?" He replied, "Of course, please follow me." By looking at the place, she was thinking that this place is so nice. And then she noticed Rin was also sitting in the hotel. She spoke her name, Rin. Rin turned towards her after hearing her name. Earlier that day, Soran's brother was opening his shop. Someone said, "You must be tired from your sister's wedding. Why did not you just take the day off?" He replied, "I can't have my regulars come here and leave disappointed." When his father was diagnosed with blood cancer 13 years ago, Seongjin took time off from school to take over his restaurant. His father spent 8 years battling cancer, and Seongjin gave up on finishing his degree. That was not the first time he had given up something, but when he was in high school he had to give up taekwondo due to an injury. In reality, he don't give up anything. He did it for his one and only little sister, the kind, lovely Soran. He was thinking that because I took over my father's restaurant, she was able to continue working towards her dream of becoming a lawyer. And now she is married to a good man. He was thinking that he have completed his purpose in life. The woman said, "I teared up yesterday seeing Soran broke down the aisle in her wedding dress." The realtor next door, and the owner of the barbecue place, also shed a few tears. With a smile she said, "They have seen you two grow up since you were this little. You both became such good at adults. I'm so happy to see you like this. You help your sister become a lawyer and marry into a great family. So now your job is done, Songjun, you did good." He smiled and said, "Thank you." The woman said, "Now it's your turn, Songjun. You should meet a nice lady and start a family." He replied, "That's not in the cards for me." In a shocking way she asked, "Why not?" "You are a handsome man. All the ladies at Soran's wedding were asking about you. They were like, is he an actor or a model?" He replied, "Please, you are too kind, that's not the case." She said, "Why can't you see what a catch you are?" Seongjin said, "I should get moving now." He was not able to stand properly due to his injury. He was thinking that I can't stand for long periods of time, or do anything physical texting. That's why I only opened the restaurant during the day. How could someone like me ever fall in love or be responsible for someone else's life? If anything, I should be a burden to them, and that's not a good case. And then suddenly he noticed that Rin was going from in front of him. He can't believe it, and then put his hand on his head and thought, here we go again. He was thinking that I really should be over her by now. I was seeing things at Soran's wedding too. Earlier Soran told him that their wedding will be at Grand Hotel. She's pretty sure it will be a super expensive. At that time his heart sank when he heard the name of the venue. He thought I was just reminded of her because of her connection to that hotel. He was saying to himself that you have already ended things with her, so stop now. She is from a completely different world. At the current time both Soran and Rin met each other. Rin was thinking that she said my name right. Soran said, "It's me, Soran, do you mind if I sit next to you?" Rin replied, "Go ahead." She noticed that Rin is drinking alcohol. Soran took that glass away from her, and asked, "Why are you drinking this?" And in an instant Soran drank the whole beer glass. Rin said it was a non-alcoholic cocktail. "But I would not know since you drank it all." Soran said that was a delicious drink. Rin said, "Order another drink if you are thirsty." "It's on me." Soran said, "Thank you." Soran checked the drink menu, and, thinking that I should avoid get drinking so I should go with Pink Lady, that one sounds like one of the light drink. Rin asked, "Why are you here alone?" Should not you be spending time with your new husband? Soran replied, I just wanted to get some fresh air. Rin said, I get it, things must be awkward between you two. Soran replied, I knew you should understand. I did not see you yesterday at the wedding. At that time were you not feeling well? Rin replied, I was there but I could not stay long. Soran asked, what brings you here? Why are you drinking alone? Rin said, because the criminal always returns to the scene of their crime. Soran didn't heard that, and she was continuing drinking her drink and thinking this is good. She feels like it's pretty weak too. She was happy with her choice. She asked, how are you feeling? I heard morning sickness can be really rough. Rin replied, I'm sure it will get better with time. It's not as bad today. Soran said, please let me know if there is anything I can do for you. Rin asked, why are you so nice to me, Soran? Soran replied, I am not nice, I'm just like this. Rin said, does it run in the family? Soran didn't heard it. She asked, what are you saying? Rin replied, it's nothing, I'm not saying anything. In the room, Kang laying on the sofa. He was thinking that it's been about 2 hours. She should be back soon, but then he checked his phone and found it's only been 15 minutes. He stood up and thought that this is a quick and easy way to make him feel anxious. If that's what she was going for, then she completely nailed it. He put his hand on his head and thinking, this is not fair, Soran. Why did you do this? Am I being punished for secretly being in love with her for the past 10 years? If so, this is a little harsh, because it doesn't make sense for her to be out with someone right now. Everyone around her knows that she's spending a few nights at the hotel instead of going on a honeymoon, so who would come here to meet with her? After a thought, he realized that there is someone who can meet with her. The one person who knows about their contract marriage. He tapped on his phone and called Rin. She said, what do you want, Kang? He asked, where are you right now? Rin replied, I am at the hotel bar. If you want to know where Miss Wu is, she went to the bathroom. After hearing this, he cut the call. Rin was thinking Kang is a real jerk. Soran came back from the bathroom and she was a bit drunk. She was saying Rin's name in her drunk state. Rin said, stop calling my name. Soran said, I like you, please don't hate me. Rin replied, I don't hate you. Soran said, you are gonna make Soran sad, so don't do that, I'm so sad. After seeing her face, Rin came into anger and said, please stop that, I hate it. Soran asked, what should Soran stop? Rin replied, I really hate it when people do that, so please stop. With a crying face she said, don't hate Soran, you are gonna make Soran sad. In a high anger, Rin said, I swear to God if you do that one more time, then I will. But then suddenly, before completing her sentence, Kang entered and said, you will what? After seeing that Kang is here, Rin said, great timing, please take her with you. She's referring to herself in the third person. He asked, did you get her drunk? Rin replied, no, she drank on her own. He looked towards Soran. Soran found that Kang is here. She stood up and said, it's Soran's hubby. After hearing this and seeing her blushy face, Kang's face also become red and his heartbeat increases rapidly. When Soran leave with Kang, Rin was thinking about their conversation. When Soran was saying, don't hate Soran, you are gonna make Soran sad, Rin was really pissed off, and if Kang had not shown up, then she might have actually slapped her. Rin was thinking that Soran is so annoying when she's drunk. In earlier conversation, Rin asked Soran, when did you lose your parents? But then suddenly she asked, was that rude of me to ask this question? Soran said, no, I'm actually glad that we are talking like this comfortably. She said, my mom remarried when I was young. The man she married had a son, and we became a new family together. I was 6 years old at that time and my stepbrother was 10. Rin asked, he's not your biological brother? Soran replied, no, we are not related by blood, but he is my one and only lovely brother. She said, I don't even know what my dad looks like, because he passed before I was even born. Rin asked, so your mom raised you on her own until you were 6 years old? Soran replied, yes, that's what she told me. She met my dad while working at a restaurant near a construction site. But while she was pregnant with me, my dad died of an accident on site. So my mom began to raise me while running her restaurant, and then ended up meeting my stepdad. At that time she was worried about getting remarried, but my stepdad was a really great person. Soran said she had known him for a long time because he lived in the same neighborhood too, so she eventually decided to marry him. The four of us were really happy together. But then my mom passed away in a car accident. I think the four of us only got to live together for 2 years. After my mom passed away, my stepdad's relatives all told him to send me to a children's home. One of the relatives said that it would be too hard to raise my brother and me, another man's child. At that time Soran was standing outside of the door. The relative were saying it should be a nuisance to him if he ever wanted to get remarried. So one day she packed a bag and ran away from home. She decided to go to a children's home because she did not want to complicate her stepdad and stepbrother life. But like a fool she went to the police station because she did not know where the children's home was. So she got caught right away. At that time her dad said, "By were you trying to go to a children's home?" Soran, your dad is right here, why would you go there? Soran said it was the first and last time he scolded her. I was crying my eyes out. At that time her brother held her hand. She said, "When my brother took my hand and smiled like an angel." After hearing this, Rin thought that she know that smile. At that time with a crying face her dad said, "Soran, you are my daughter. I am not sending you anywhere ever." Soran looked towards Rin and said, "I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of tipsy. You're probably not interested in any of this stuff." But then Rin asked, "What about your stepdad? What does he do now?" Soran took a breath and said, "He was diagnosed with blood cancer. When I was a first year in high school he passed away. After fighting it for 8 years, my brother took time off from school to take over the restaurant, and has been running it ever since. He did it to support me, saying he was going to do whatever it takes to get me through college." Now Rin was sitting alone in the bar. She was thinking that they have been through so much hardship. But still, how are they both so considerate and sweet? She was thinking that I am such a fool. I should have told Soran that when she was here. Next day in the morning Soran was saying, "My head hurts, brother. Can you get me some water?" She was shouting his name. But then she remembered she is not at home. And this room looks different from the one she slept in. She looked besides her and found that Kang was also sleeping there. After seeing that, she was shocked and her body started to tremble. She remembered a little bit about what happened last night. She said it's So-won hubby when she saw him at the bar. And after remembering that, her face was all in sweat and completely red. She remembered when her friend Yeonwi said so. "Ren, listen to me. Do not drink until you get drunk. I'm dead serious. Someone might kill you because of that thing you do. Of course that someone could be me." She remembered last night when they were in lift she was saying, "So-won is so happy that So-won hubby came to pick her up." When Kang going towards his room, Soran stopped him and said, "Don't go, let's sleep in the same room. So-won will behave, don't you trust So-won?" And in the current time she thought that she had an idea. She should jump out of the window. She tried to open it but it would not open. She was thinking that, do fancy hotels have special looks in place? I do remember bits and pieces from last night. I'm sure I went to sleep in my room, which means I am the one who came in here to Mr. Kang's room. She checked her innerwear and found that I have it on. After finding that, she said, "Thank God, I guess nothing happened." But then a thought came into her mind. She was thinking, what if she put them back on after the deed? She was sneakingly leaving the room, while thinking that I need to get out of here and I will just pretend like nothing happened. But then suddenly Kang stood up and said, "You are not running away, are you?" Soran stopped and turned towards him. She said, "Good morning, Mr. Kang, how did you sleep?" He put his hand on the head and said, "Not well." After hearing this, her body started to shake again. He said, "Because a woman named So-won who kept me up all night." After hearing this, her face became red and her heartbeat increases. For changing the topic, she said, "Oh no, look at the time. I should get ready to check out." Kang said, "You don't even look at a clock. How do you know what time it is?" She said, "By the length and angle of the light caused by sun." Kang said, "I see, I guess you know how to read time like our ancestors did in the Joseon dynasty." She turned around and said, "All right then, take your time getting ready. I will meet you outside." After some time she entered into the bathroom and taking a bath. She was thinking that there is no way they did it right. If they did, that really complicate things. I can't just keep this under the rug and hope he forgets about it. I should not be a coward. We signed a contract after all. After some time both of them were sitting in the car, and at a red light Soran asked, "Did I sleep with you or not?" After hearing this, Kang stopped the car very fastly, and put his hand on her to protect her. He asked, "Are you okay?" She replied, "Thank you." And in the mind she was thinking he almost touched my boobs. His heartbeat also increases and he was thinking that was close. He said, to answer your question, yes, you slept with me. You slept, and so did I. With a blushy face she asked, did we do it or not? He asked, do what? She was about to explain him. But then suddenly he said, we did not. She asked, sorry, what did you say? He replied, what you're about to say, we did not do it. With a smile she said, I'm so glad to hear that. She said I should feel terribly sorry either way, but this is so much better. He was thinking that how is this better? It is not. She said it's a good thing that nothing happened. Please forget about my behavior yesterday. He was thinking it's not a good thing and I would not forget, not until I die. She said, first let me formally apologize. I'm so sorry I went into your room. He replied, you don't have to apologize. He said the bedroom is where the honeymoon begins anyway. She was blushing and then with a smile she said, it's nice of you to make a joke, Mr. Kang. I feel less tense now. While on the other side Kang was angry and thinking, I was being serious, I don't do jokes. He said, we did do something, we didn't do that, but we did something else. So-ran remembering what happened last night, and at that time she was saying, getting married was a good decision. That's what So-ran thinks, and she was calling him by honey. She said, I want to kiss you right now, can I? And then both of them kissed in the lift. She said that was our second kiss. After that Kang held her head and said, I thought you said a light pack like this does not count. And then he started to kiss her while moving his tongue. He was thinking that at that time I want to have her. I want to have all of So-ran, and I have succumbed to my most primitive instinct which I should be in. I had been desperately trying to suppress, probing into her mouth with my tongue feels inexplicably good. I could die right now and be happy. And then they stopped kissing. But immediately he again started to kiss her, and thinking I can feel her soft sensitive flesh against mine. Her spine is trembling in response to my movement. Both of them were making noises while kissing, he was thinking. With every touch a tingling sensation washes over him, and then the elevator doors open. While the door opened and closed several times before. But he can't stop kissing her, he have already forgotten how to control himself. He was thinking that you probably have no idea how long I have been waiting for this moment. And then finally they stopped kissing. After remembering all of this she said, I will be sure to compensate you for the damages I have caused in the manner you wish, Mr. Kang, because I have violated the no physical contact clause. He was looking towards her. She was thinking, I know that Mr. Kang had to deal with unwanted attention from women since his college days, even when he and Rin were drawing up their contract. At that time when Rin said we will just be living together, but minding our own business? Kang replied, yes, let's pretend like the other doesn't exist. Rin said, fine by me, having to see your grumpy face at work and at home would be suffocating. And Kang replied, good, stay out of my sight. But now I can't believe I kissed him first, and crawled into his bed. This is another debt I will never be able to pay off. Kang said, you don't have to compensate me. She asked, pardon me? He replied, any form of physical contact without consent is prohibited with no exception. If a party fails to adhere to this agreement, they must compensate for the damages. The amount will be set by the other party. He said, you asked me if you could kiss me, Miss Wu, and I did not exercise my right to refuse, so it was not a breach of contract. After hearing this that he did not refuse, her heartbeat increases. And she was thinking that he did not mind. She was lost in her thought. She slapped herself on her cheek to come back into the moment and thinking, pull yourself together. So-ran, you are his second choice, not first. Maybe Mr. Kang is more generous and understanding than you thought, or is exhibiting superhuman patience. She bowed her head and said, thank you for your generosity. Kang was thinking, I should be thanking you. So-ran said, I will make sure it doesn't happen again. Kang was thinking, you can make it happen again, or maybe it would be better that way since last night was really tough. At the last night when Kang left her at her bed, he was looking at her and thinking about that kiss. His heart was beating very fastly and he was thinking, I can still feel the kiss on my lips. So-ran is right in front of me within hand's reach. He turned away from her and thought, he don't want this to be a night that she would not remember. He want them to do this when they can be fully present with each other. It is the only way I want to do it. he entered into the room and was laying on his bed. He stood up and removed his shirt. He was thinking, that's what I told myself, but my body is not cooperating. Why is it so warm in here? He was saying to himself that go to sleep, come on. But he was not able to sleep at all. He was thinking, you did not even get much sleep last night, so go to sleep. While saying it, he entered into a sleeping state. But after some time he opened his eyes and found that Soran was laying beside him. She was partially above his body and he was thinking, she's a vixen. His heartbeat increases and he was thinking, she's not an innocent rabbit. She is a vixen that is trying to bleed me dry. He bit his lip and thought, how far are you trying to push my limits? She was saying, hubby Soran will behave. I want to hold your hand. After hearing this he put his hand on her hand and thought, I should wait until we both are really, truly wanted and mean it. So I should wait. After that both of them reached to the house. She was looking at a mirror and thinking, I still can't wrap my head around this. The walk-in closet that is attached to my room is bigger than the master bedroom at my old place. She wondered, do I deserve this luxury? Plus I did all sort of things to Mr. Kang yesterday. I feel like my debt is snowing. She was remembering what she said that night. She sit down on the ground and thinking, please, I want to forget this. She call it the Soran glitch. That's why she try not to drink, but the name of the cocktail totally fooled her. The Soran glitch started right after her stepdad passed away. She was remembering a memory when she was going with her dad. He was saying, how was the school, Soran? That is so happy to see you smile, Soran. I will make your favorite dish today. And then suddenly she remembered when he was laying on the bed while fighting blood cancer. He was saying, I know this is hard for you, Soran. Daddy is sorry for making you go through this. She missed her stepdad so much. I missed his voice and hearing him say my name. And then she remembered when an injury happened to her brother. At that time she asked, are you okay, brother? This is all my fault. But with a smile he said, I'm just glad you did not get hurt, Soran. She was thinking that the people I love always leave me. The people I love always get hurt. That's how it's always been. With a sad face she stood up and thought, what am I doing? I need to hurry, I don't want to run into Mr. Kang in the garage. But when she came out she found Kang is making the breakfast. He said, eat breakfast before you go. After hearing this she stopped. He said, have a seat. She sit on the chair and he asked, are you okay with scrambled eggs? She said, yes, I love fluffy scrambled. But then she asked, what are you doing on the first floor, Mr. Kang? He said, Soran will use the first floor and Kang will use the second. Each party will use the bedroom, study room and closet and extra room for their own personal use. Both parties agrees not to intrude into the other's designated personal space without their permission. She said, yes, that's correct, you have it memorized. He put his apron on the hanger and said, in other words, the living room, kitchen, bathroom, staircase, etc. are all common areas. She said, look, Mr. Kang, typically the kitchen or bathroom serves as a supplementary space to one's personal. After hearing this he came closer to her and said, it sounds like you want detailed definition of each term. He grabbed the chair and said, so why don't we also redefine the agreement we had in the elevator yesterday? He gave a smile to her. She was thinking that before she knew it, he had intruded into the boundaries of her life. She said, thank you for making breakfast for me. That's all for today's video. If you want to know what happened next, then like and subscribe. Alchemy Animation YouTube channel.